Hey witches, what's up? Today I'm going to talk about a pretty exciting topic that some people ask me questions about, and I just felt like let's just make a little video about it. What is sex magic? Okay, so sex magic is like super powerful, really cool way of manifesting an intention. Very intense, very like exciting. What is sex magic? Okay, sex magic is the art of harnessing the immense power of sexual energy and the orgasm in order to cast your spell or manifest your desire, both literal and figuratively. Okay, so how do we do it? What's happening with sex magic? I could do a whole course on this. I'm trying to keep the video like short and sweet, so I'm going to kind of do a brief overview. With sex magic, the concept is that there is this powerful energy being created in the sexual union between two people. First of all, I have to address this topic as a gay woman. Does sex magic only work if it is between, quote, a man and a woman? The answer to that is absolutely no. You don't have to anatomically have any specific body parts or identify in any specific way in order to have success with sex magic. As a lesbian, I would be very upset if the only way I could manifest my workings through sex magic was with a man, and that's just frankly not the case. So I want you to empower yourself to know that you can have sex magic happening, taking place, and working out for you for any reason. It doesn't have to be just because there's a man and a woman involved, or an anatomic. There doesn't have to be a penis and a vagina involved if you want me to get really specific, okay? Sex magic, like all forms of magic, you'll hear me say it over and over and over again. Sex magic is all based on intention and the manifestation of that intention and using the energy that's being created by the sexual act itself to manifest that intention. Can sex magic be done if the sex is only like solo? Yes, super absolutely, totally can. Go ahead and like file that away for later because that's a real thing. So here's what's happening. The sexual act itself is an act of creation, right? Like we've been gifted with the energy of creation. Like I could go onto this little spiel about like if there is a God and if God created us in God's own image, then that would mean that we're all little mini creators. Like we're all little mini gods, right? Like we are all little mini shapers of realities. And we know this to be so because we each have a different experience called our own life, called our own energy field, called our own perspective, right? Like we each have that inner kind of ability to create a world. It's our own little mini world, but we're still creating a world nonetheless. So because of this fact, we know that we have the ability to create. The fact that we know we have the ability to create means that we can use that ability, right, to create whatever we want, which is basically what witchcraft is. So utilizing that knowledge means that we can apply that skill in several different ways. Candle magic, mojo bags, like setting intentions upon things like sigils, all kinds of things. But one of those ways is through sex. And so there's this energy happening in the act of sex, whether it's with a partner or not, whether it's with many partners or not. There's a energy that's being harnessed, and it's this sexual energy of creation, because sex inherently is an energy of creation, right? It's like how creation of life is made. It's like how we do that on this plane of reality. So the very act itself is a creative life force act, which means it's intensely powerful AF. Knowing that we have access to this very intensely powerful energy field is something we should totally utilize and totally capitalize on. So in so doing, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the experience, the sexual experience itself, knowing what we want to create through the act, okay? As we begin, we hold that image in our mind, that intention. And remember, an intention is a very concentrated concept. It's a very concentrated component of energy that is kind of like boiled down and put into this little seed that's like, this is the energy that I want. It's best if your intention can be really like cultivated and put down into something small, concise, and easy for you to access. So something like I don't know, self-love would be a good intention, or prosperity, or abundance. And so if we were going to be using sex magic to bring forth the energy of abundance into our world, what we would do is we would fill ourselves up, no pun intended, with that feeling that abundance has next to it. Like when you think of abundance, what feeling goes along with it for you? And when you can identify that feeling, just fill your body with that energy and hold that. And that is your intention. So as the experience begins, you're going to hold that energy into your body, and you're going to like know about it, right? And then you're going to just proceed as normal. When you're building towards climax, you or your partner, what you're going to do is to visualize the energy of abundance, or whatever spell you're putting out, whatever you're manifesting. You're going to hold that visual in your mind, and you're going to allow it to get released into the universe through the release of orgasm. So you're going to fill your whole body with that feeling again. You're going to fill your whole body with that visualization of that energy being released. And you're going to use the power of the orgasm to send it out into the world. This is like super legit. I'm not even kidding. It's super powerful. So that's really the essence of spell casting through sex magic. I've really simmered it down for you. I've really kind of not discussed some of the nuance of it, but that's the basics of it. You can also exchange energy between yourself and a partner through the act of sex. Like if you're trying to fill them up with a certain kind of energy, like if you want them, for example, to love themselves the way that you love them, you can do the same thing. Fill yourself with that feeling at the beginning of the activity, right? Hold it, then you can like let your mind wander to other things. As you approach the climax, I want you to fill up with that energy again, and then like push it all into their body through whatever visualization or other that you want to do that. I would like you to have consent, obviously. Big disclaimer for a second. With sex things, you always need to have consent. Not only that, but with magic in general, if you're going to be spell casting on someone else, I'd really like for you to have consent to do that as well. Okay, so just keep that in your mind. But you're going to, with their consent, you're going to take all that energy, and as you release it through the orgasm, you're going to give it to them and let them fill up with the energy that you've just sent to them. And they can do the same to you, vice versa. Now make sure you're only doing this with someone who you trust, because there's a huge level of trust happening here where you must trust that they're going to send you the energy that they say they're going to send you. And if you don't trust that, you shouldn't be doing it. Well, if you don't trust that, I'd rather you not be having sex with them, but that's your decision to make, not mine. I'm not going to judge. But what I'm saying is, if you don't trust that they will send you the energy that they're saying, or that they, you know, are like on point with themselves like that, you can like revoke it mentally, even if you say you're not, but just don't allow that in. But either way, fill yourself up with the feeling, release it with the orgasm, cast it into the universe, and then let it go and let it be so. And that is a really powerful, really cool tool to use for up-leveling your witchcraft, up-leveling your magic. Bodily fluids in general are really potent like spell components. So I mean, if you ever add any of like the sexual fluids to any of your spell work, especially for like obviously love and lust spells, binding spells, stuff like that, all of that adds a really powerful component to your spell work. But catching it in the act itself is absolutely off the charts powerful AF. So if this is something you've wondered about, feel free to take this knowledge and go forth and try it. If this is something that you have always wanted to practice with but didn't feel like you were empowered to do so, I hope that this video has been helpful. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and if you would like my videos or leave me a comment. You can also find me over on Instagram at moonstone_witchery, or over on Spotify, where I have a very diverse catalog of different podcasts on topics that you won't necessarily find here on YouTube. So I would love to have your subscription or your followership over there as well. I hope you have a great day, and good luck with your sex magic.